So we've been working on the lower decks again. You can see I've gone a bit crazy with scaffolding, rigging all this stuff up, but I want to have a support there. So we've got some of our landing pads underneath. You can just see where they'll be situated, and then we're going to have some trussing coming down, and we'll have our lower deck under here. It's a bit more of an industrial look, and then we'll continue flying downwards to the lower floors and then finish up the side of the station. But you can just see how big this station is getting. It's crazy, but the circles really do add those different layers and stuff going on. So we'll keep at it. Okay, so we've been working on the control area for these particular landing spots here underneath the station. You can see there's a little bit of a control room sitting there. You can see in the context of everything else, it's small and undercover, but on the approaching it, you can see it's got a good line of sight to the two landing pads in front of it, and you landing down will trigger some stuff. So we've ran the piping. It actually looks like piping around and up to there, and it goes in there. You can see in our control room here we've got the red and green lights. Now the red lights run all the way back because the red light will light up when a landing pad here is occupied. And what we can do is we'll have a control here that we can eject that particular ship from the landing pad. So if they're causing trouble in the Smugglers Cove, they've crossed the wrong person, or just decided to cause some mayhem, and their ship is docked on one of the landing pads, we'll be able to eject them. Now these are local, and then up in the control room we'll still have a similar control. You can see that's the layout of this particular control room. We'll have some gravity lifts coming up the side. And hooking up to the area that will fill in this area as well. And we've also got, if we go down, we can open that and go underneath, and we'll have the logic to handle most of that in here. And we'll be able to send logic up here to the main control room, and then along here we'll be able to go, and then that runs down through all the pipes, which run down and then across a fair ways, keeping it all neat, and then that gives us access to the landing pad controls there. So it's coming along. There's a fair few pieces to it though, so it's going to take a little while to get the other ones done here. You can't just copy them, and but you can see where those ones are positioned there, and they'll hook up to everything else. But it's a good advantage point to see the landing areas. You see we've got the glass area and we've got this raised area, so you can look out and easily see both landing places. You can also see the turrets on the side, so if they're giving you trouble, you can enemy faction them. You can eject the landing pad, eject the ship from the landing pad, and the turrets will just annihilate it very quickly. And then we can walk down here and get a bit closer if we want to see a bit further out. We've got that ability in there. So that's the control room for these landing pads, and we'll go ahead and try to finish building them for the other axes over here, and hopefully I'll get them fairly close to what they look like for the other ones. I hope. Here's to hoping. So we've added in the other ones. You can see there that all four run for the landing pads, and you can see you can't see it, but within here you can see there's some pipes running around. So we've got pipes and scaffold going everywhere. We've got pipes running up. We're still yet to work out what we're going to do behind to hook up this area, or whatever this space will actually look like for that floor, but we've hooked up the pipe. So if we are inside, we can go down our little service hatch, and then down here you'll see we've got a pipe which runs up in here, and then that runs up quite a distance. In this case, these ones run straight up here and hook up to our existing logic conduits just here, so they'll be able to poke through from down in there, come up, and we've got additional little access for that if we want to service some stuff in there. The other ones don't have those running because those are purely the ones that we ran for the main hangars. So you'll see how far they run up, quite a distance up to here. And we'll use these also, so they're the large ones, so we'll be able to use them to hook up to our circuits. But hooking them up that way I think is alright, because there'll be controls to control this entire half of the station, so we'll have like a sub paddle, so that if we're having issues on a particular side, we can go and look at that. So those ones will control these two main hangars, and then the landing pads at the top, the additional doors there. There's a lot of logic, so you can see why I'm taking the time to actually think out the way that logic will run around the entire station, because there's a lot of it that hooks up to the roof, to the main control area. If we fly over to these ones here, we can also see that these ones have been run up, but because of the lack of it, we've run them across and into the same conduits. So you can see if we fly along these conduits here, we hit that point, and then here is where the where that is, but here's where they also come out, so they'll all pair together from down there into here, and you can see our logics for our combo circuits is starting to go in. Now I went around and labelled some of these as well, so main hanger combo lock circuits restricted access. We fly up here, we can see hanger 2 logic conduits and stuff, so we get a bit of direction to where things are, because there's a lot of tunnels. I might even end up adding like different coloured hull strips on the ground, combo circuit access, and then same with the main hanger logic conduits. I've also added these numbers above the main hangers, because I didn't have anything, so you didn't really know which hanger you were going to. The big numbers are obviously out the top, but you don't really have that inside. Now you do. And it was a good space to be able to fit that in. I've hooked this gravity lift up, so you can go up now, up to this floor, and again, these sections are labelled with reactors, and so the station will be laid out similar to a compass. So this is a north reactor, which is towards plus Z space. This is the south reactor. I've started using the manufacturing spot, so I've labelled it east manufacturing floor storage for stuff, and you can see here, storing there is all this trussing that's been used on the station, so we've got it there in case I ever want to copy it again and it doesn't stay in the template library, which is great. On the other side I have the combo circuit, because that's going to be used a lot more once we get up to the upper story doors and apartment areas and stuff, and there's enough space over here to really fit it all in. But the station's slowly growing lower and lower, which is great. So you can see that used to be where it was stopped. Now we've got this entire another floor underneath, and it'll keep going underneath that. So if we fly all the way out, we can see just how big it is at the moment. I like the turret placement, and I like the sort of you're getting all these different sort of layers with things at the different heights. So there you can see, and I've slowly been trying to finish all the light circuits for the manufacturing. Not for the manufacturing, sorry, for the main hangars. So you can see there how big it is. It's coming together nicely. The style of the turret support will probably be what the style on the ones on the top will end up being. which will be good. And but beyond that, I still need to work out how people actually get to these lower spots as well, which is cool. But I'm really excited about how it's coming along. Got a lot more space to really work with. And there's some really cool, like, you don't really get the size of it when you're flying around here. But when you're just a ship approaching and you go into gravity and you just imagine the size of this, it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. Because, as we've said before, it's bigger than an old planet at 675 by 675 by about 420 now. So you can imagine coming up on this thing, it's going to be crazy. And it's going to be really fun to explore. Like, I spend a lot of time putting in effort into places that people can check out. You know. I put a lot of time into places that people can really check out, which is going to be cool. If we fly in, you can just see how big parts of the station are. So if we sit down at around this height, if you were a player height, which is about here, you can just see, looking around, this section feels big just for itself, but then you get down into these hangars, and if you're just a little dude, it's a long way up there, and you're just kind of on your own. Again, if we fly down and you're standing on one of these landing pads, you kind of get an idea of just how immense this station can be. You'd look out and see the massive turrets going at it. But yeah, so we're going to work on the lower floors a lot more. Try and really flesh them out. At least the outer exteriors, like this. And then from there we'll do the upper areas, and then we can start filling in the internals a bit more. But for now, my name's Bench. Till next time, keep playing. Thanks for watching another Starmade video. We release videos every second day, so don't forget to subscribe.